Thank you so much. So good to be here. 1 Thessalonians 5 says, 16, 17 says, rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and give thanks in all circumstances. Today we're doing all three. I know you do this every day, and I'm so excited to be here. This is amazing how many new people are here. This is a thing that I don't get to see much in the American church. Church is growing and being vibrant and staying out in the lobby and trying to drag you in here because you're having fellowship. That's a beautiful thing. So I want to honor this church. Since there's so many new people here, I'm going to quickly kind of tell you what's happened. Many of you have heard this, but some haven't, so I'll make it quick. This church is the only church on the planet that has ever funded an oral Bible translation. And that means that's a people group that didn't have a real alphabet. They were an oral society where there's basically no documents, to make it quick, and they function in an orality that it's very uncommon to understand that in the United States. Anyway, they still work with a handshake, and they make deals and do business that way. And this country, Zambia, and the people group was called the Singa people. The Singa people were too small to be recognized as a potential recording or translation, and nobody would take them. And a gentleman, the pastor there, Reverend Katete Jackson, kept pushing the element. Paul says, press on, right? Well, this Pastor Katete pressed on, and he was looking for anybody to help him, and he connected with Ken and Sue Saka, who have been here a number of times. You're missionaries to Zambia and that region. They, with Dr. Katete, got the ball rolling. They met somebody from Faith Comes by Hearing. We decided to take the project on, and we recorded the Singa language. And 2 years ago, I was here, and we celebrated the release of the Singa language to the world. And then last year I was here, we celebrated the release of the Singa documentary. Now, raise your hand if you watched it. There's a few, very good. All right, so Dr. Katete called himself a one matchstick. He believed that he could start a fire in Africa, and with his work, and this man is incredible. He has done things like, he's put together a consortium of churches, Seventh-day Adventists, Pentecostals, Baptists, the Lutheran Church, the Presbyterian. They're all working together in Zambia. Think about that for a minute. But anyway, Dr. Katete has been responsible now for initiating over 20 language projects in the area around Zambia and Tanzania. So he truly has been one matchstick. And part of this whole process, getting started and him working so hard, it makes you realize a language process is so difficult. If you look at all the people that were involved back there with Ken and Sue and the churches around Zambia that were working with Dr. Katete, the missions team here was amazing throughout the last few years of working on this project and keeping it going. Dave Todd, my friend Clint Hall, all you people that were on the missions team. This is the best missions church in America. I'm not kidding you. I'm telling you guys are so intentional and so purposeful. But the Sending Project and the pastors here and the Seed Company, I'm just reading all the people that are involved in this project. The actual recording team, the churches in Zambia. It's amazing. But now we have multiple books of the Bible and New Testament in Singa. And then we also have finished Genesis in the Old Testament. And the goal is to just keep working and keep getting those languages done. So the one matchstick concept has been incredible. And now Faith Comes by Hearing is involved with over 20 new projects because of Dr. Katete. And you're going to get to see his picture here in a minute and talk on this video. But what I want to do today is announce that we are going to do the Singa documentary Part 2. And we are going to do that as soon as the rains stop in Zambia, which will be about the end of March. Our guys are going to go back over there. The Singa Documentary 1 was so successful and won awards, and it was so powerful. we decided that we just had to do another one, and now we're going to get to show all the relationships that have been built throughout the world because of this one matchstick, Dr. Katete. So I want to tell you thank you as I'm leaving the stage. Thank you for being this church body that understands the Great Commission. You know, Jesus says, I have all the authority. I want you to go make disciples of all nations. Well, you and I can't probably go to Zambia, although some of the people in this room have been there. But we can't go. But what we can do is just like we're doing for Faith Comes by Hearing, we don't disciple anybody. We give them the Word of God. And that's what you've helped us do it. So enjoy this video, and God bless you all.
The Senga fire for Buta has grown tremendously from the time we had the first documentary to this time. I think the documentary was like a prophetic pronouncement of what we didn't see, but God knew it all, that something big is cooking up. From the Senga fire, we had the new translation coming up because of the impact and that affected and impacted the communities. And so some of it came through the Fungwe, the Lambia, the Tambo, and of course now, from the Fungwe, Lambia, Tambo, and Senga, it's like we are on the spotlight, and everyone wants to see what is God doing, what's happening here. And so it has outgrown us technically, because we never planned for this big growth beyond comprehension. And so we said, God, what is this? We only had one prayer request to have the scriptures in Senga. Now there's demand for Fungwe, Lambia, Tambo, and now we have the Kunda. We are now right now in Kunda land, and the Chikunda. And from the Chikunda, we now have the Kawende, the Wandia, the Lungu, the Shila, the Mkulu, and the Bisa. This coming on board at the time we didn't expect. And we are so grateful to God for FCPH that came to our aid. At the time, they didn't even plan to help us. But that help was also very prophetic because something big has come up. And the Senga right now, they are about to complete the New Testament. This is exciting. Something big is going to happen in the country and also in the Senga land. And so we are expecting them to finish between November and December. And once we have finished that translation, it will be the best ever product that we can be considered as an unanswered prayer for the Senga people, the forgotten people, the minority people, the suppressed people. And God says that he's going to lift us up for us to hear and communicate with him from heart to heart, soul to soul. And this has been tremendous. The Kunda, for instance, where we are right now, they're doing the Old Testament. And this is the first Old Testament project that we are supporting. And we would like to thank God for what he's doing here. And from here, we have the Chikunda. I'm sure some of you may be surprised between the Kunda and the Chikunda, because sometimes you refer to Kunda as Chikunda. And what is the relationship with the other Chikunda, which is at the border of Mozambique and Zimbabwe? Far away from here, many miles away from here. But they are also referred to as the Kunda people. And they have got a different meaning for Kunda. And the Kunda here has got a different meaning for Kunda. You know, the Bantu language, you have the same word having different meanings. And so by the grace of God, the translation is impacting the churches, the translation is impacting the communities, and the chiefdoms are celebrating that their languages are being revived as well and restored to what they used to be, they are supposed to be. Instead of being looked at as secondary citizens, people without any language, people who are suppressed, now they are moving with their head high, that God answers prayer, is able to speak our language, and he knows us. So we are grateful to God for what he's doing.